Hello everybody, today we're here to talk about Eternal Lords, the new expansion for Age of Wonders 3. Now, there's actually so much content in the expansion that we can't fit it into one video, or at least, well, not a reasonable length video. So we're going to focus here today on just two things. The Necromancer, the new class that comes with the expansion, represented here today by Arvik the Dark, who's also the lead character for the campaign, and the Frostlings. These guys, sort of little blue goblin chaps, they've actually evolved since their last incarnation in the previous games through crossbreeding with these sort of weird blue people to make Frostling 2.0, the Royal Guard here. Now, the Frostlings are not happy in this particular environment because it's sort of a tropical wasteland. This area belongs to Reskar, and we've come here to take it back from him. Now, peace be unto you, I'm sure we can reach a beneficial agreement. I don't think so, Reskar. Declare war. Now, Reskar is holding this ruined city here, and it sounds like a pretty good place for us to begin our reconquering of the Frostling lands. But first things first, this is all tropical terrain, and as you can see from this rather unhappy face, the Frostlings are not happy here. So we're going to use a unique ability of the Frost Queen, which is the tier 3 Frostling unit. Last Rite of Winter. What this means is, next turn, this sphere will explode and everywhere nearby will be coated in ice and will become Arctic terrain, which gives an advantage to us. But before we do that, anything else we need to do? We need to select the skill to research. Now, obviously, lots of things hanging around here that we could use. I think we're going to choose Corpus Furia. It's a combat expel which makes corpses on the battlefield explode, damaging everything nearby. That sounds fun. Also got another army up here, sort of undead units. We can sort of send them east, see if there's any more of Reskar's units around who we can attack. Also got a frigate, or no, a galleon in fact, we can send to accompany them. And we've met a dwelling, the dwelling of Lashanti. Wick down. This is the new dwelling in the expansion, the Reef Colony. It's a water-themed dwelling, which also produces some aquatic and amphibious units. These guys, Lords of the Deep, and these Lost Mariners. But I think we're going to be running into them later, so I'll get back to that. I think that's about it for now. So we'll end turn and start the war. Poof! Now everything's covered in snow. So now our morale penalties are gone, and here, Draconians do not like the cold, so time for us to invade. Manual combat. Okay, so here we are in this sort of newly frozen wasteland, coming to kick out the vile dragon-skinned invaders. Okay. Here they come. We have a shaman here, Draconian shaman. Now normally this is bad news, people using fire attacks on us being Frostlings, but they're attacking high resistance units who are guarding, so fortunately it's not doing too much damage. Where should we start? I think first things first, the Frostling Royal Guard. This guy is the Frostling's pikeman, and he has a special ability, Pledge of Protection. This is similar to the Theocrat ability, Absorb Pain, so if I use it on Arvik, any damage that Arvik takes, this guy will take instead. He also gets a +2 defense bonus, which is nice. Also have here the Frostling White Witch. She is the support unit for the Frostlings, and she has some fire abilities. Grant Flows and Flames here will give 80% fire protection to Arvik. Definitely very handy considering who we're fighting. We'll also give him the ability Inflict Chilling, which is a new stacking debuff. If you go over here, you can see we have a 36% chance of attaching chill to the target. Goes there, hit them with your size. Go on, beat him up. Yes, and he's chilled. Got him. Chilled means 20% frost weakness on top of the 20% he already has, and -1 defense. And this will keep stacking. If we keep hitting this guy with units with Inflict Chill, like the Frost Queen or the Frost White Witch, then he will get more and more vulnerable to cold as we go along. This lets us use this guy, the Ice Scaper. This is the irregular for the Frostlings. Now his attack here is actually very low damage. Most irregulars do 12, 13, 14 damage with their ranged attacks. However, this one has the added bonus that it can freeze the target in place. And since this guy has a 40% ice weakness, it might be a good idea to try and freeze him. See what we can do. 42% chance of freezing, 48%. I think this guy has a much lower resistance. This is a tier 3 unit, it's only tier 1, so I'll freeze this guy. Ah, gotcha. You see, these guys now bright blue, and they are not going anywhere. And finally, we have the Frostling Ice Queen, a very powerful support unit. Got a little bear-pulled chariot, and as well as the last White Winter, which you've already seen, she's got Ice Nova. This is a massive area of effect, and it will knock enemies out of guard, but none of the enemies are guarding, so won't bother with that. And it doesn't look like we get into melee range, so we'll just sort of move into battle. Guard, and that's the end of our turn. We'll see what they do. Right. Regretting it. Yep. They're just coming in to strike us and not doing much at all. The reason you didn't see any damage numbers coming off me was because all the damage was being done to this guy. Our poor Royal Guard is in a bit of a state. I have a feeling that although Arvik is protected against fire, poor old Frosty over here is not. In fact, he has 60% fire weakness, and hence him losing an obscene amount of health from those attacks. But no matter, I'm sure these guys won't be with us for much longer. So, first things first. Drive up here with our Ice Queen. Now, see this? Exposed. Anyone stood next to an Ice Queen suffers an extra 40% fire weakness, no, frost weakness even, and -1 resistance. So that means it's actually quite a good plan with the Frost Queen simply to park next to people and do nothing. However, in this case, I know you all want to see Ice Nova, so let's set that off. It only does damage to the people right next to her, but yeah, there's quite a lot of damage, so that's the end of them. The Ice Scapers has these ice picks, and that gives them this ability, Shatter Strike, which means they do extra damage against stone and frozen units, so hopefully should be able to beat these guys up quite fast. Pop, pop. That's the end of them. And Arvik can take the... oh no, he can't. Okay, it's like he took too much damage, he can't do anything. Okay, looks like we're going to be finishing off with the Ice Queen. We would if I could click in the right place. Will this kill him? Oops. No. You wouldn't believe I actually made this game, would you? Okay, looks like they're going to get one more chance. Oh, and he dies. Probably from the Frost Door or from the Ice Queen. So, the city is ours. Now, fortunately, you might have seen that cunningly placed casting point pickup. That means, happily, we have enough casting points to cast Animate Ruins. Animate Ruins is a Necromancer spell that we can use to bring a raised city back from the dead. And there it goes. Obviously, it was quite a big city. Now, Necromancer cities, being dead, filled with dead people, has some quite interesting mechanics. Instead of growing with normal population, which is 3 little men, you see these 3 little skulls to represent that they actually get population from different sources. You can see here this corrupted farm, which is a farm which has been affected by magic, gives 100 dead population instead of 100 living population. Over here, we have a Spring of Life. The population we get from this is worthless. If we were to cast... where is it? Corrupt the source on it, however, then it would become a corrupted spring and it would give our city lots more lovely dead population. The final thing we probably want to do is this, the Harvester's Guild. It's a very cheap building, but it's vital for Necromancer cities. It gives them the 200 population growth that they need to grow at all. Otherwise the city probably isn't going to get anywhere. Anything else we want to do? Oh yes, let's kick these guys off our Spring of Life so our city can start growing. So bring our undead army over here. Probably be able to get there next turn. The frigate, or galleon, sorry. Naval fans out there, it is a galleon. It can sail over here. Notice over here we've got some krakens guarding a raging maelstrom. This is one of the new structures in the DLC. Go in there, unfortunately we don't have time. And right, end of the turn. Okay, now I don't believe we can cast Corrupt the Source yet. Nope, we can only cast it when it's undefended. So I'll have to kick these guys off first. Right, they do have a Lord of the Deep. This could be trouble. Let's go, see what they can do. Lord of the Deep is a tier 4 unit that comes out of the dwelling that we just saw to the north, and it has a very powerful, unique ability called Thunderstorm, which, if I know the Lord of the Deep, he is going to use as the very first thing that he does. Let's see. Nope, it looks like the AI has decided to use the new AI trick that it's been taught where it will wait for us to come to him. So we actually have a bit of a reprieve. Previously, in our previous versions of the game, the AI would always charge forwards. Now sometimes the AI will actually stand back and wait for you to approach, so to make it a bit more challenging, so you can't just sort of stand there and form a wall. Now, see, we'll send forwards first the Bone Collector. He's our main tank, tier 3 unit. His stats aren't actually that great, but he has an amazing ability to collect bones. He can eat corpses from the battlefield to get more health, more damage, and to heal himself at the same time. So he's going to run forwards and guard, hopefully survive the initial encounter. We also have these guys, Deathbringers, Frostling Deathbringers, no doubt. These sort of Hellraiser-esque undead minions are very powerful. Their main ability is Inflict Ghoul Curse. This means any unit they strike has a chance to be inflicted with the ghoulish disease, so if we can kill a ghoul cursed unit, it will come back under our control as an undead unit, so they're very handy to have around. Should we move forwards as well? Or float forwards, as they do. What else have we got? The Lost Soul. This is the Necromancer's Scout unit. It's incorporeal, low damage, floating, but its main abilities are Exploit Despair and Undying. Exploit Despair simply means it does more damage to people with low morale. Undying is much more interesting. After 2 turns, it will come back from the dead once per battle. So it's very good as a sort of a throwaway unit to chuck at the enemy to distract him whilst your more fragile and, well, more irreplaceable units are kind of hiding behind it. Okay, we'll send forward our Reanimator. The Frostling Reanimator is a baby necromancer, basically. He's our little sort of apprentice. He's got a little shovel for digging up dead people. He can throw bolts at people. Raise Corpse, this lets us create little sort of skeleton crawling around guys called cadavers out of dead bodies. He's also vital because he's one of the only units we have that can heal undead. Undead units do not heal naturally. So it's vitally important that we have units like the Reanimator and like Necromancer heroes around who can keep our guys healthy as they fight. Finally, my favourite unit in the Necromancer lineup, the Banshee. The Banshee is a debuffing machine. This ability, Wail of Despair, is a massive area of effect that applies the Despair debuff to everyone it hits, assuming that they don't pass a save. Despair is minus 300 morale and 20% spirit weakness, so definitely want to hit them with that first. Okay, so let's see what they do. They wake up. I think I'm close enough, so when we come in. Yep, there goes the Lord of the Deep, and the thunderstorm is now happening. It started raining, and everybody is attacking. Fortunately, my tank has resisted the netting attempts. Took some pot shots. Now, quick look. Thunderstorm. All of our units become drenched. Drenched basically means that they are more resistant to fire, which is actually good for us, and weak to frost and lightning. Now, lightning does matter because it's going to every turn. Everyone's going to get struck by lightning. But the frost weakness we don't really care about. They don't use frost damage. Lightning could be a problem, but I'm sure we can finish off these guys before it really becomes an issue. Now, you have any nice spells to use? Stiffen Limbs. Stiffen Limbs is amazing. No saving throw, slows the enemy down and makes it easier to kill. So cast out the Lord of the Deep to keep him out of the way. And let's try taking some guys down. Get first things first. Let's use the Scream. So go to the other camera view so I can see what's going on. Okay, and get over here. Let's phase because, well, we can. Shoot it off. Okay. Okay, got Despair off on a couple of them. The Reanimators have Inflict Despair as well. Can we get any more Despair? Because they're Frostling Reanimators, they can also inflict a chill. Ah, that's better. Now, see? This guy is super upset. Despair stacks as well, so with 3 stacks of Despair, he is the worst possible morale level, which means that not only will he almost guaranteed fumble any attack he does, it means our lowly little Lost Soul, with its 3/3 damage attack, can do absolutely ridiculous damage to this guy. Bye-bye. Pop. So 28 damage from a tier 1 scout. Not bad. What else are we going to do? Let's demonstrate eating dead people. So, run over here with our Deathbringer and kill the human scout. Oh, he resisted our Ghoul Curse, unfortunately, so he's not going to be coming back. However, oh, The Bone Collector's out of movements because he got attacked too much. Well, so much for that idea. He'll have to eat somebody next turn, I guess. And the other Deathbringer can go over here. Maybe we can get this guy as our little friend. Oh, the Lost Mariner. Oh, and we got him with the Ghoul Curse. The Lost Mariner, as an aside, is essentially a sailor who's been captured by the merfolk who live in the reef colony. He's normally quite a good unit. He's a tier 2 irregular, he can shoot pistol, he can throw a net, so he's got a ranged paralysis attack, mind control immunity, probably because he's already been mind controlled by the mermaids and stuff, and a volunteer to make him nice and cheap. But anyway, he'll be on our side next turn, assuming I can kill him. I don't think we're going to have any problems there. And, okay, I think that's the thunderstorm, he's struck by lightning, so we need to end this battle fast. Here comes the Lord of the Deep, messing up our Banshee quite badly, but no matter. I think it's time to bring in the big guns. So, okay, first things first, raise corpse, show you the cadavers. So these little human scoundrels, you can turn into these guys, cadavers. These guys are great. They're like little baby skeletons that crawl all over up on the ground with swords stuck in their backs. Fortunately, he's only just come into battle, so he's got no move points. We can't really do anything with him right now. But these guys are very useful for distracting enemies. He also has this amazing ability, Offering of Bone. If he was able to get over to our Bone Collector, he could feed himself to the Bone Collector to heal him up. But that's not possible, so Bone Collector can come over here and he can eat the human scoundrel. Okay, so we heal. We now have 20 more hit points than we had before, and our melee strike has gone up to 16. I believe before it was 14. So +1 resistance, +2 attack, and +20% hit points. Okay, so beat up the Lord of the Deep. Okay, now hopefully, if we're really lucky, the Ghoul Curse will work on this guy. We only get one chance. If he resists it, then the guy will be immune to Ghoul Curse for the rest of the battle. And we got him. He's ours now. Fantastic. Can we wait? Banshee can finish him off. And as we kill him, the thunderstorm ends. So there's another new improvement we've put in. If a global spell is active and you can kill the person who cast it, the spell will be cancelled in tactical combat. So people are upset about Chaos Rift. If you can kill the sorcerer who cast it, you can cancel the spell. Probably much more reliable than trying to do it with a discharge. Oop, misstepped. Fortunately, this guy fumbled because of the low morale. He's coming with another exploit to spare backstab. Ow, and he's dead, but doesn't matter. He'll come back after the battle because of his undying ability. Pop! He's dead, and we take the field. Okay, and here we are. As promised, we now have some new friends from our Ghoul Curse. We have a Lord of the Deep. As you can see here, he's got like this rather sort of fetching, cracky texture. He's now an undead and a ghoul. Now, as discussed, undead means he can't regenerate, but he is immune to blight damage and gets a bit of frost protection. Unfortunately, also means his fire protection has been reduced, and he has a big whopping 60% spirit weakness. 40% of that comes from undead, but an extra 20% from being a ghoul. Now, a ghoul is a sort of undeadified version of a living unit. To begin with, they're quite fragile, but there's a number of spells and buffs you can get which makes them more powerful. The most easy to get is this, the Embalmer's Guild. The Embalmer's Guild gives all of our ghoul units the embalmed ability, more hit points and a big pile of fire protection, which is nice. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done here. All we've got to do is convert the Spring of Life. Step off it so you can see what it looks like now in all of its torched out glory. There you are, a corrupted spring. Gives dead population and mana instead of living population and happiness. So, we also, as a prize, got this rather fetching little Nightshade Fairy. If we wanted, we could take the Nightshade Fairy over here, park him on the Well of Souls. If he drinks from the well, it will also become a ghoul. So we could convert it to join our ever-expanding army of the dead. So, please join us later when we'll be looking at the Tigran Rogue and many new features such as race governance upgrades, the new specializations for alignment, and new diplomacy options like vassalization.